It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And up next are the Texans' field-stretching tight end. Always staying...
Charles and I have been looking forward to this one all week, and we are underway here on EA Sports. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And a peek at the man under center. He has 5 full years in the league under his belt, now in year number 6. On 1st and 10, Alexander throwing middle, and it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the game's opening play and a quick first down. Looking to throw. Alexander. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Well, they were setting up the screen, CD, a lot of free runners, and they got there late, and the penalty ensued.
Yeah, somehow it didn't get into their brains that it was a screen, right? Instead of pulling off and chasing the ball downfield.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. D'Angelo Malone. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly. To throw on 2nd down, Alexander. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Well, this defense for the Texans, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense?
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And the Texans are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. So out comes the offense now with a long field ahead of them. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention. Wide open receiver complete. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
And they were backed up to start the drive, but not anymore. Now that's the play call that the offensive coordinator had in his head. You saw the end result. He wanted to go ahead and push the ball downfield, and that's what they did. And they wound up with good yardage there to get things rolling.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. The numbers for him from a week ago, a boatload of carries, 116 yards.
And when he went over 1,000 yards last week, you know what it did for their offense? It gave them a true identity because everyone's going to talk about this. The offensive line's going to take pride in it. Of course, the guy carrying the football will. But how about the coaching staff? When they go in and talk contracts, when they talk to reporters, hey, we had a 1,000-yard rusher this year. That means something in today's NFL.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 33 yards that time.
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just help receivers find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. The Texans have 8-1 on the year. And they've gone a full couple of months now since their last loss. Winners of 8 in a row.
And we always talk about how a team has to play complementary football in order to really be a good squad. I think in this league, if your offense isn't playing really well as this one is, you're not going to run off this kind of a streak.
And they're knocking on the door now. As a good run there, going to take this to about the 10-yard line. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
And here, Charles, is a look at the inactive, some of the guys that are out today due to injury.
Yeah, and this is where the preseason work comes into play for some of those backups. It's not just them getting some experience on the field, but preparing each week in practice as if they were going to play. And when you have guys like...
And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Texans go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their 2nd drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Alexander. Rush coming, and he's taken down. D'Angelo Malone. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
Well, he shot in, CD, like he was out of a cannon from that linebacker position. And even though they had a running back in the backfield, no one could stop him.
Well, you certainly diagnosed that play perfectly, because as fast as he got into the backfield, you're exactly right. The running back had no shot to get over and try to protect his quarterback, and a sack resulted.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7-0 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
23 yards on the play.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a 1st down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Bengals grab it. The big fella, 30, past the 20. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. They give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice for such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, big plays after these guys.
You like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone.
And the decision to come out of the end
end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Houston set to take over. And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner?
He's got it in. Complete. Touchdown, Houston.
Jameson Williams with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Texans have taken the lead.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One play drive. From that distance, what an effort. It results in the touchdown. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be, because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play.
He rifles one that's intercepted.
Derek Stingley picks it.
And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD.
Well, Charles, as a defender yourself who made a few of those plays back in your day, I know you know there's no better feeling than a pick 6 for a defender.
And the big thing is when you take it and you realize you're out there and you've got a great chance to score, not to get overexcited and have one of the yard lines trip you up, or the turf monsters we used to call it, knock you down before you get to the end zone. That didn't happen on that play. He carried it home.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
And they came into play here off 2 straight victories. Are back to 500 on the year. But, Charles, is this little mini run coming?
And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter.
Derek Stingley picks it. And the Texans are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play.
A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. Texans football to start quarter 2. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Colvin.
And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line.
16 yards on that one, and also a Texan 1st down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. It's Williams on the catch.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the Bengals' 12-yard line.
Here we go. 2nd down at 5.
Off the play fake. Oliver. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete.
And the Texans are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this 1st half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans.
Jameson Williams.
His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year.
And the Texans have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
extra point splits the uprights. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Looking to throw on second down. Alexander. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all. And I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
On third down, Alexander. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by J.C. Horn.
And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field.
They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The Bengals on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They can use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, Alexander, and he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return.
And the Texans will take over.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
25 yards that time.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to bring up second down. Off play action. Oliver. His throw caught right around the 6. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one goes for 24 yards. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got it 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now 1st and goal, expect them to tackle right here on this play.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line.
Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mask.
And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked by Chad Muma. And the Texans are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line.
Interference. Defense.
Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. 1st and goal. Looking to throw. Oliver. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston.
Jamison Williams
on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Texans are able to add on to their first-half lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again.
Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid.
And my goodness, another interception.
Derek Stingley picks it, and the Texans are going to take possession of the football.
Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ball game.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is? It could be.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by Chad Muma.
The 40, 20, 10, 5. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for Bengals TV.
So maybe some signs of life. This has been a defense. They've been all over the map here in this first half, but they're coming through with a big play.
And sometimes that one play is what you need. And it sounds really simple. This is a team that was close to being down and out before halftime. So they come back and return the possession for a touchdown. That's big.
Yeah, maybe it can serve, Charles, like you were alluding to, as a little bit of a wake-up call for them. We'll see. This fielded right at the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Jamison Williams out onto the field as his guys take over on offense.
He's the star wide receiver, and he's doing his thing so far here into the 2nd quarter.
And how you get distinguished as a star is each and every week performing to a high level no matter what they throw at you, because you're always wanting to take him out of the game if you're a defensive team. How do you press him, double him, triple him, all of those things? But the best players show up each and every week. Solid games and some spectacular ones.
And he has showed up time and time again. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. that continue to give you.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And his throw here is incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Alexander. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath for those guys on the defensive side of the ball.
And now here's another interception.
Picked off by J.C. Horn. And the Texans are going to take over at their own 41.
He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. And throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Up the middle they go. Colvin, and he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there.
With now 15 rushing touchdowns on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Extra point right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The Bengals going to take over late in this first half. Things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half.
And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. To throw on 2nd down. Alexander, good footwork at the 30.
Finding space at the 40.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. On 1st down, Alexander. And my goodness, another interception.
Derek Stingley picks it, and the Texans will take over possession here up at the 44.
Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
He's got a man complete. And get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. It's a 39-yard attempt right hash. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together.
And he's going to lose yardage, not that it matters, as the final seconds tick away. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front.
As halftime over, no problem with us. We skip right to the third quarter and continue this midseason contest.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. But Jameson Williams out onto the field as his guys take over on offense.
This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
He's got a man complete. Touchdown, Houston.
Jameson Williams,
77 yards.
And the Texans are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. Throwing on first down, Alexander. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
And we got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
Looking to throw on second down. Alexander. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
From the gun on third down. Alexander. And now here is another interception.
Derek Stingley picks it.
And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes that kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
The Bengals offense returns to the field. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll look to throw again. Going right side here, and that's complete. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
So 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 39-yard line. Back to throw again.
That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun, Alexander.
And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down.
Gonzalez's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. But Jamison Williams out onto the field as his guys take over on offense.
What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks cover.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
Throwing to start the drive. Alexander.
That caught by Trimble. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up.
Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
To throw on 2nd down. Alexander. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll be a sack and a loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up 4th down.
Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely, because remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. As a quarterback, you've also got the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the ball. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
Yeah, the next-gen stats going to show the final clocking there. He was taken down at just 1.9 seconds. Yeah, that's pretty fast. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Jameson Williams out onto the field as his guys take over on offense.
Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. They'll keep it on the ground. Colvin. And he powers his way up past the 30. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
They'll try and throw for it here. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete.
And he is going to have a Texans first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6.
Looking to throw. Oliver. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
This offense, number 1 in the NFL in picking up first downs, and their run game got him another one there.
A really good stat to lead the league in, isn't it? Because if you keep picking up first downs, sustaining drives, that means you're controlling the football, controlling the clock, and letting your defense rest on the sidelines.
A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And a quick throw here, that's complete.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come. Back now here on EA Sports.
2nd and 5 from the 8.
And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. An 8-yard touchdown run.
And the Texans add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
The Bengals set to take over. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
Throwing to start the drive. Alexander.
He's got the hook up with Dobbs. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 48-yard line. Operating from the gun, Alexander. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. The time called here because a member of the Texans is in some discomfort. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again, Alexander. And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
Brings up 3rd down and 10.
So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by J.C. Horn. Yet another mistake after the interception there. Gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, and they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. Well, let's face it, not a lot left for them to prove in this game, but they're still throwing the football. I guess, of course, CD, you can always get the backup some work. There's new plays to try out. But some people, let's face it, they just want to run the score up. It's fun.
I love the way that you expressed that because you gave plenty of reasons why people like to do things. But ultimately, they just like to keep their foot on the gas, and they just want to tromp on teams. And what I like to see is, if you like to do that, how do you handle it when it comes back against you? On those days where someone can run it up on you, do you handle it the way that you expect your opponent to? If so, keep doing your thing.
He's got this complete to Williams. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Oliver. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Lynch. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A very solid gain of 27.
I'll tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The Charles are still airing it out at this point despite that huge lead. And some people may be saying, well, why are they throwing the football? These guys, I guess, are just padding their stats at this point.
Yeah, there are a lot of big grins, I think, from people and their families, from them.
Touchdown! A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Texans are closing in on a 9th victory on the year as they extend their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Bengals 20.
Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because They're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10.
They'll find Ayuk open right side. Finding room at midfield. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
36 yards on the play. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Looking to throw. Alexander.
There's Tremble, the tight end.
And he goes down at the 26. A pickup of 13, and that last play began at the 13. First down. On 1st and 10, Alexander.
That's complete to Dobbs. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the 4th quarter.
And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Gonzalez got on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it looks like he'll throw here. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Up huge on the scoreboard, and they're still trying to add to their total. That shot doesn't connect, but I don't think it'll dissuade them from attempting another one.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Oliver. He's going to take another shot here. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Oliver. He's airing it out for Williams. And this is caught at the 20. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Yet another touchdown in what has just been a high-scoring affair, a fun one to watch. And it's the rookie quarterback, Charles, coming through with yet another touchdown pass to pad the lead.
Did we come into this game where defense was optional? Because it certainly feels that way, right? But when you look at the scoreboard, this rookie, he has his team moving at a little bit quicker pace than his opponents. The entire offense is going to get plenty of praise, but I think these coaches have to be especially happy with what their quarterback has done.
Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. That ball caught. Brandon Ayuk. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable in the final quarter of play. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. Now comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would have, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
On first down, Oliver.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Now a play fake here on first down. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach. And maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier. And he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up. But he certainly will have some explaining to do.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Off the play fake, Oliver. And this one is incomplete.
I think it's safe to say they've made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
On 4th down, Oliver. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Another touchdown through the air for them, and for this rookie quarterback at the helm, he has put them in a great position, Charles, to get the victory in this one.
He's absolutely taken charge. Every touchdown for them has come via his arm. 0 rushing touchdowns, no special teams, no defensive scores. All him throwing the football. He's in cruise control right now, and so is his team.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going.
This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Texans, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next